Spoilers for a Lego Monkey Kid, obviously. Naruto, TMNT 2012, Ninjago, and Demon Slayer. Disclaimer. My videos usually include mild swearing and are preferably meant for a more mature audience. Enjoy. I really like how Mei from Lego Monkey Kid subverts the expectations of the girl character. What do I mean by the girl? Well, let me explain. You see, in shows like Naruto, we have Sakura Haruno. She is the one girl in the group. What's her role, you may ask? Well, you see, she, like her male teammates, is descended from a great god. She has a very powerful bloodline, which gives her and the other two a very important destiny. Nah, just kidding. She's literally the only normal one of the group. She doesn't have any important role to play. At least, not till the very end. But what most fans really don't like about her is that she basically has two roles to play. The love interest and the healer. Which wouldn't be so bad if there were actual chemistry between Sakura and Sasuke, but there's really not. There's literally more romantic chemistry between Naruto and Sasuke than Sakura. And in Lego Monkey Kid, Mei is the only girl of the main cast, which technically makes her the girl. And here's the thing. Anytime there's a singular female in the group, they're always either shoved into the background, made into a love interest, or are usually the healer. Or all of the above. I mean, take April O'Neil from the 2012 TMNT series. The writers decided to age her down for this one so that she could be Donnie's love interest. And yes, she definitely was shoved to the sidelines many times. But I mean, in her case, it made sense, because she wasn't a fighter. She didn't grow up learning ninjutsu. And she was also kind of the healer, but it was more of a healer in a mental way. Because she had, like, psychic powers or whatever. But again, it wouldn't have been so bad if her writing wasn't so dang bad. Like, why was she so insufferable about being an independent woman?
I'll protect you, April!
Like, girl, you did not grow up learning ninjutsu. Of course the others are better at fighting. So, of course, if I start a show and see that there's only one girl in the group, I'm gonna be expecting one of those three tropes to happen. So, let's talk about how Mei subverted those expectations. Right off the bat in Season 1, the writers made it very clear that MK and Mei were not going to become a couple. They definitely knew that these two were going to be shipped, so they wanted to make it clear super early on. And I actually really love that it was MK that was the one to reject her instead of the other way around, because I feel like it's super common for the girl to reject the guy. For context, he rejected a fake version of her that was acting all romantic toward him. And that's what made MK realize immediately that it wasn't the real Mei. Because I'm sure that they've established in their relationship that they will never be a thing. By the way, if you ship them, that's perfectly fine. I'm only talking about canonical things here. So that immediately checks the first box. She is not a love interest. Can't say the same for Nia from Ninjago. Honestly, the Nia being a love interest thing was fine up until it got ruined by the poorly written love triangle in Season 3. Because, like, before Season 3, at least Nia was still her own character outside of the love interest thing. But, like, don't worry, later seasons fixed that. Anyway, on to the next part. The female character being shoved to the sidelines. This type of thing happened a lot to Nia as well. I seriously hate the fact that she didn't get her own dragon form and crystallize. Like, are you freaking serious? Look, her not being on the main mission with the boys would have been fine if she had just stayed a normal mechanic. But the writers chose to put her in the main ninja cast by making her the water ninja, so it was really dumb to not let her have a dragon form. And yes, I'm aware of the excuses they used for why she didn't have a dragon form, but that's why when you write a show, you need to plan ahead. Literally all of the elemental masters could create a dragon in earlier seasons, so it's just stupid that she doesn't have a dragon form. Mei, however, was actually very important to the plot. The Samadhi fire being inside her cemented Mei as a central character. And I really love that she parallels with an important character like Macaque. The show makes it clear that the front and center characters are MK, Mei, Wukong, and Macaque, while the support characters are Pigsy, Sandy, and Tang. The next thing is the healer aspect. She actually does seem to fit the healer vibe to an extent, because we've seen her bandaging people a few times, which I feel like that should be either Pixie or Sandy that does that. Because Pigsy is a dad, so he would know a thing or two about bandaging. And Sandy is just naturally nurturing. So, I don't know, it really doesn't make sense for May to be the one to do that, considering her personality. But anyway, other than those rare times, she really isn't the healer of the group at all. As I said, I think Sandy is definitely more of the healer, at least when it comes to mental and emotional stuff. So if we're looking at a whole retrospective, no, she is not the healer of the group. I mean, she doesn't even have a long-range weapon. She has a close-range weapon. She is right in the danger zone, meaning that she's the complete opposite of a healer. So, I guess that means we've checked 3 for 3 boxes. But I also wanted to mention a few other smaller aspects of her character that subvert expectations. Usually when a female character is a tomboy, they end up being insufferably feminist. Like Nia and April, for example. Nia would often seem opposed to anything girly. I think there were a few times she did girly things, but they definitely were not common. Which, her not liking girly things would be fine, if the writers weren't so dang weird about it. Like, you're not making a statement by making her repulsed by feminine things. Check out my video, Why is Femininity So Hated, for more on that topic. Anyway, on to our girl May. I really love how May is a tomboy that is still perfectly comfortable doing girly things. In the episode where she met her uncle's side of the family, they dressed her up and she loved it. She didn't complain at all about it being too girly or whatever. I also really love how she described being rough and tumble and liking bugs as normal girl things. I thought that was a pretty nice subversion. Another thing is that she's really protective of MK. Literally in the pilot episode, when she found out that Red Sun was trying to kill him, she goes, "Where does he live?" And in season 4, when she zoomed in front of him. But the flip side to that is I like that she's not afraid to ask for help. Because usually the tomboy main character is all, "I'm independent, I can do it by myself, blah 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 blah." But in the macaque episode, when she realized she couldn't beat him on her own, she called MK and said, "We really need your help." So yeah, we love someone who could admit when they need help. So to summarize, she's not a love interest, she's a front and center main character, and she's not a healer and fights in close combat. Basically the opposite of the 2 female Hashira and Demon Slayer, who are the healer / weakest of the group, and the long-distance fighter who is all about love. Check out Captain Mac's video to hear more about my irks with that. I'll leave a timestamped link in the description. So yeah, congratulations to May Dragon for subverting the expectations of being the girl character in a mainly male cast. But seriously, we need more female characters added to the main group. It's getting a bit lonely not having any introverted female characters that I can relate to. Toodaloodles!